Sunny side of life right here on your number one talk station, 92.3 Nigeria in 5FM. What's the weather like around you? The weather around here is neither hot nor cold. I just say the day is bright and fair. Oh, happy day. My name is Denise Dennis Worlu. Yo, what's up? How you doing? How's your mind? How's your body? And of course, how is your soul? Are you good? It's the third day in the month of February 2026. And as always, it is time to have ethical, philosophical, and thought-provoking discussions. And today will not be any different. What's on the menu today? In this hour, we'll be talking surviving the consequences of one's action. And two questions I'm asking. When your world is crumbling because of a fire you started, do you have the courage to stand in the ashes, or is your first instinct to run? And then the second question is, how do we build the strength to survive the consequences of our action? That conversation takes us up until 1 o'clock. We'll go on the news break for trending stories. And after that, we'll have a chit chat. And then in the final hour, we are going to be navigating the nakedness culture. Lately, it feels like the social uniform for women has changed. We are seeing more skin than ever on our streets, on our screens, and in our circles. It's often labeled as liberation or empowerment. But today, I want to peel back the layers. Is this a celebration of the female form, or have we turned our bodies into the only way to get a seat at the table? So, in our society today, do you believe a woman can still be seen and heard if she chooses to stay covered? Or have we collectively decided that modesty is now synonymous with invisibility? So stay tuned for that conversation. In the meantime, let's dive right into surviving the consequences of one's action. This conversation. Somebody is calling already. What have I said? Life. But what happens when you are living through your worst choices? And remember the saying, actions have consequences. Now, today we are using the tragic story of Tony. If you remember, the woman who they said it was alleged left her SUV running on the third mainland bridge in 2018 as a case study. It's a story of fraud mixed with small infidelity and DNA shocker that ended the way no life ever should. But the question for us on the sunny side isn't just what did she do? It's how do we stay alive when the shame is screaming? Now, I must add that there are a lot of controversies surrounding that story. And I also read that she didn't die and has come to debunk it and share her narrative. One is forced to wonder what action must have led to all of this in the first place. Why would there be such story, and why there is a debunking of the said story, and the list goes on and on. So, for those of you who didn't follow through the story that year, I will bring you up to speed real quick because someone brought it to my attention yesterday, by the way. So the story of a married woman who jumped into the Lagos Lagoon when her boyfriend leaked her nude pictures to her husband. The media reported about a Texas-based Nigerian woman who jumped into Lagos Lagoon in 2018 due to the trauma she experienced when her secret lover sent her nude pictures to her husband, generated a great deal of public interest. The thing is, the married woman named Tony was secretly dating and having some rendezvous with one man called Kunle, who's based in Lagos. She also sees the Kunle whenever she visits Nigeria, and she was able to keep the clandestine relationship secret. However, things went awry between them, and the relationship turned sour when Kunle, the lover, defrauded her of 10 million naira through a business deal in which she loaned him the aforementioned sum. She tried to get the money back, but Kunle started to avoid her. Then she felt compelled to involve the police in the matter so that she can recover her money. However, she did not inform them that she and Kunle were involved in a sexual relationship. The thing is, when the police started to harass Kunle, he became infuriated and thought of a way to get back at his estranged lover. And the next step he took destroyed the life of Tony. Specifically, he sent the pictures of her and him doing stuff to the husband. When the husband saw the picture, he was filled with rage. However, he managed to control his rage and found a way to do DNA tests in the US where he's based on the 3 children born to him by Tony. When the DNA result came, he received the shocker of his life. None of the children belonged to him. He, the husband, then sent the DNA results to his wife, and then his wife, who was then holidaying in Nigeria, specifically Lagos, via WhatsApp. When she saw the messages, she was overcome with fear, and she became profoundly traumatized. In fact, she experienced visceral fear so intense that she drove her Ford SUV to the St. Mainland Bridge, stopped midway, and jumped into the deep Lagos Lagoon. Her body was recovered 4 days later. All in all, a woman is extremely vulnerable to being blackmailed when she sends things she's not supposed to be sending to others. Now, this is one part of the story. Now, she had debunked it. As a matter of fact, she had come out at some point to say, I didn't die, I'm alive, it's not me. And then she says, it never happened. Rather she was trying to save somebody and all that and all that. The whole drama started, and she had to call friends because they had alerted her, see what's going online. And then she went to Facebook wall to tell her friends and family in Nigeria and the US where she is, and that she's hale and healthy. And she spoke, however, about an unknown person still fueling the furnace, ignited another rumor, insisting that the businesswoman. So all of this seems to be rumors. But my concern is with the action from the very beginning that must have led to these things happening. I have done my research, and there are different sides to this particular story. However, while we use it as a case study, let us have it in mind that it may or may not be true. And if it is true, Tony is just one of the several people who may have acted out of place and has struggling to live with the consequences of those actions. Tony is you. Tony is me. We do something that we're not supposed to do. We say something we're not supposed to say. We go to a place we're not supposed to go to. For those of you who saw the movie that was trending at the time, is it Love Lives Here? The Bimbo Ademoye story. If you remember, there was a particular lady, or Sas Igodara, forgetting her name in the movie, who was being blackmailed by the neighborhood somebody that she shared the kiss with. Apparently he had it on camera and he was blackmailing her with the pictures and she was sending him money in dollars and he just wouldn't stop asking for money. It could be a Kunle, it could be a Theresa, it could be a John. It may not even be centered around marital things or infidelity. It may be centered around something that you wanted to do real quick and nobody was going to find out. But then, it so happens that your world is crumbling because of that fire you started. Do you have the courage to stand in the ashes? Or is your first instinct to run? To run away from this world, to run away from people you know, to just run. And then question number 2. How then do we build the strength to survive the consequences of our wrong actions? Point taken. We misbehaved. Point taken. We did what we were not supposed to do. And yes, in doing so, those actions indeed call for some kind of consequences. The courage to accept, experience, and go through those consequences. Tell me, how can we build them? 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Again, 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809-030-6416. Again, 0809-030-6416. On X, we're at Nigeria Info page, and Facebook page remains Nigeria Info 92.3 page. Go there, watch us live, and most importantly, be a part of the conversation. Nigeria Info, good afternoon. Welcome to the sunny side.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, welcome.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's me, Simple Justice, calling from Ahoda.
Simple Justice from Ahoda, welcome.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead, I'm listening to you, Simple Justice.
Okay.
Okay, let me say this real quick. We are not a station for prank calls. We want to believe that we are all mature people here. So when you do pick up your phone to call us, just go straight to the point after introducing yourself and telling us where you are calling from. Alright? You're able to get through to us eventually. Introduce yourself, tell us where you are calling from, and then go ahead and make your point. Back to the questions I'm asking. When your world is crumbling because of a fire you started, what does simply mean is something that you did. The actions are making your world to crumble. Huh? Do you have the courage to stand in the ashes, or is your first instinct to run? And how do we build the strength to survive the... Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome.
Okay, my name is Leah.
Leah, welcome.
I really like your talk again. When you into some, like you said, there are some mistakes you will make. Do you run? Let me share a personal experience.
Mm.
In 2021, I made some very stupid mistakes, financial mistakes that made me had issues with the EFCC. My marriage crumbled. I became separated for 2 years. And when that issue happened with the EFCC, I had to, like, I was going to court and all the rest. I was traumatized after everything. I became ashamed of myself. I couldn't even stand myself in the mirror. I would look at myself and say, how come? How did I? I was a high flyer. Where did I get it all wrong? I couldn't face my husband. I couldn't face people that held me in high esteem. There was a time I became suicidal. I was like, let me just take my life and forget about everything that has happened, because there's no need going on. But I then said, no. If I do that, then I'll be making a greater mistake. I have to stand and fight. Right now, I'm trying to rebuild my life again. I am still ashamed. The shame is still there. In my quiet moments, I am very, very ashamed. Because when I look at where I was coming from, comes something else. But sometimes I tell myself, okay, the consequences.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anonymous, can you hear me? Hello? Is it the phone line from this end or from the other end? Hello, Anonymous? Alright, Anonymous, you would have to call back. Godwin Agwanwa on Facebook says, good afternoon, concerning this matter, we build strength to survive the consequences of our wrong actions through basically learning from the lessons of that wrong actions and work on them not to go back to that mess again. It's as simple as that. Godwin from Alakaya. It could be anything. A financial mistake, a wrong marriage, an extramarital affair, anything you can possibly think of. But in the real sense of it, it is outrightly wrong. But you may seem to be doing well for a while. You may seem to be enjoying for a while. And then, boom, you begin to come to terms with the reality. And sadly, for some people, they go suicidal. For some people, they get ill. They fall ill. They're down with something that they cannot come out from. You know, every time I see someone who lives their life carelessly, and when I'm talking live their lives carelessly, I'm talking live not taking their health seriously, doing something intentionally to jeopardize all efforts to make their lives better, or taking things that are harmful to their health, knowing fully well that consequences will come up in the future. I ask myself, is this person prepared for those consequences? Has this person decided that no wahala, we test the consequences? Nigerian for good afternoon to you and welcome.
Good afternoon. I called back again. I was trying to explain the mistake I made.
Oh, okay.
It affected me, and I had to come out from the ashes. Like I said, I became suicidal. I was ashamed. I still live with the shame of my mistake. The shame has not gone away. I still look at myself and I am ashamed of myself all the time. I look at myself and I say, how come I made this mistake? How come I made this mistake? How come I made this mistake? How come I did what I did, and people that held me in high esteem now, I can't even face them. And during this process, I became ill. I'm battling with a terminal illness now. And when I went to the doctor, they told me it was shame. Have you ever been told by a therapist that shame can make you become ill? I was suicidal. My marriage broke up. I had to start from the ashes again. I decided not to talk to anybody. I disappeared from social media. Up till now, I don't keep friends again. I don't talk to anybody. I'm all alone. I don't talk to people. I don't do anything with people. I don't honor invitations. You invite me, I don't go because I live with that shame. But I thank God because today I am in a better place. Those suicidal thoughts are off. I'm taking care of my health. I have to swallow my pride, go beg my husband, and we are trying to rebuild what we lost. Just one singular financial mistake caused all that for me. So sometimes our mistakes tend to destroy us.
I get. But then again, I'm glad you're talking to someone about it at least, and you're not living with the aftermath alone. And I guess sometimes the shame you feel is self-shame. Not other people are not ashamed of you. For other people, it may just have been what you called it, a mistake. But you, because maybe you have been placed in a certain position in life, in someone's life, in people's lives, you feel like if you walk into that room now, they are talking about you. If you see two people doing you just feel it's all about you. Maybe you might need a change of environment. What do you think?
I'm trying to see if I can change my. I'm trying to rebuild my life anyway. I'm trying to rebuild my life. I'm trying to rebuild my life, see if I can change my environment and all the rest, like you said.
Oh, okay.
Not been easy, but I thank God where I am today. It has not been easy at all.
All right, thank you.
Easy, but I thank God.
I'm glad you're making progress as well. I'm really glad you're making progress. Justice from Ahoda, welcome.
Yes, Dennis, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, this thing has to do with individual, and secondly, it's psychologically oriented. So there are certain things, some mistakes you make, you don't feel very happy with yourself. You don't feel very happy. There are situations where probably the environment itself may be an instrument towards that mistake. But you are recuperating from that mistake takes time because of the nature of where we stay, like third world country. You find it very difficult. There are no therapy. Sometimes you meet this guidance and counselors. They will help you to some extent. So these are the things. You don't need to kill yourself. But once in a while we make mistakes. But there are some mistakes that are very, very painful.
So when you make those very, very painful mistakes, tell me, do you run away or do you stay? Yeah, okay.
No, I don't. You don't run away. It's just that you want to be. How do I put it? When you want to quarantine yourself.
All right, thank you so much, Justice from Ahoda. I have a message here on WhatsApp, and it reads: in 2020, someone from my yard took me and several other people to First Bank, say that the government wants to pay grants to people. She said that they needed people, those who haven't opened an account before now have a BVN. When we got to the bank, now this is a long read. You know what? Let me take this call first. Nigerian for welcome to the sunny side.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Didi, this thing you are saying. By the way, my name is Victor.
Victor, welcome.
From Rumo Cruises.
Welcome, Victor.
Okay, well, this thing that you are saying, this thing that we say now is that sometimes I keep telling people you should be careful of your actions. inwardly, outwardly, because the time comes it reads. Nature has a way of playing those things that you do and you think maybe you are just doing them. But sometimes we have to be very careful. I have experience with a friend like that, though it's a long story. He got pregnant with a neighbor. Got pregnant with a neighbor, and then she hid it. And then by the time the husband knew, she told the husband he's pregnant, and the husband like, so the guy has to accept. So at the end of the day, when the whole thing come to the open, the girl almost took her life. She almost took her life.
Who got her pregnant? The neighbor, not her husband.
The neighbor. It's a very serious thing, and this is what we discuss. We preach. We preach every time. Be careful of what you are doing, because your action, no matter how you hide it, some of them has the way of playing back. In short, not even some. Almost all of them has the way of playing back to you. So I would like to advise some of us, if maybe that is why I keep telling people, build a strong shock absorber in you. That sometimes when you are doing this thing, by the time the repercussion comes, you'll be able to speak up, especially women. They can't stand it, they can take their life. So you have to be very careful of your actions. Thank you.
All right, thank you too. So back to this message. In 2020, someone from my yard took me and several other people to First Bank and said the government wants to pay grants to people she said needed, people who haven't opened an account before I have BVN. We got to the bank. I filled the form with my correct details. Or when the man in charge came, he said we'd have to use a different name altogether. And since I'm not up to 18, I have to use 20 instead. I told him that I can't do that, but I was told that when I come of age and want to change it, I can go to court and swear an affidavit. I was 15 plus at the time. As naive as I was then, I obliged, not knowing the consequences. We went inside the bank. We did everything needed, both the biometrics and everything. I was told that they would send my account number with my BVN to my phone number I used, which was my dad's number. I got home, and since then, I did not get the SMS. So I assumed that it was no longer valid. Not until 2022, when I was coming back from WAEC lesson with my classmates, a UBA bank marketer stopped us and wanted us to open an account with them. We agreed and followed him into the bank. I realized that my other classmates did the biometrics without any issue, but when it was my turn, I placed my fingers on the machine. The banker told me that I have a BVN already with the wrong name that was used to open the account. I was shocked and recalled what I went to the bank to do in 2022. Ever since then, I've been trying to change it, but I'm told that it is impossible. I've done affidavits, even published in newspaper, still wasn't able to change it. I even went to their head office at Leventis. There I was told that I could be arrested for it. They said total name change is not possible. Because of this same issue, I've missed a job opportunity at Kilimanjaro Fast Foods because the name and date of birth of my BVN is not the same with my real name and date of birth. My name and date of birth is written below. Real name, Grant Etim Jimmy. Date of birth, 2nd November 2024. Wrong name on the BVN, Iboro Ekop. Wrong date of birth, 2nd November 2020. And I imagine, as young as I am, now trying to make a headway in life, but this issue is causing serious delay in life. It's affecting me sometimes at night. I can't sleep. Why do you need the grant in the first place? Let's go on this break. Stay tuned.